Today, we are going to rank every single in-production Storm bowling ball in our 6-ball categorical scale. This is going to be similar to what we've done in the past. This is just going to be an update. So make sure to stay tuned and we'll get into every single ball that Storm has to offer. Now, you're going to notice some similarities with a video we just posted where we had Victor, who had an awesome chart for us based on where Storm thinks the bowling balls fit. But this one's going to be a little bit different, where you can see what category every ball actually wants to be in, just for the channel's sake. This is something I want to do every 6 months or so, and I think it's really helpful for you guys. You guys adored this series last time, so let's just get right into it. Quick shameless plug, make sure to subscribe, best way to help the channel. Down below, I have a link to BowlerSmart. It's a great way to help support the channel if you want to buy anything at BowlerSmart. And also, we have chamois. We have a couple of chamois left, red and blue Spider-Man ones. So make sure to grab one of those. But otherwise, let's get into Category 1. Category 1, the strong and smooth category, is a little bit minimal for Storm bowling. For anyone new here, strong and smooth is generally the first ball out of your bag in a very, very heavy oil pattern. This is going to be great for tournament patterns, or if your house shot has just a ton of oil, or if you're on a cliff where there's a lot of oil in the middle of the lane, not much on the outsides. Storm only has 2 bowling balls in this slot. So starting with the number 1, the most hooking ball that Storm has to offer is that Ion Max. Ion Max has been around for about a year now, and it is still incredible. People adore this ball. It's one of the best asymmetrical solids on the market to this day, and it hasn't really given up that spot. This thing is just really, really good. See a lot of people throw it on house shots, and it looks fantastic because it still shapes when you play a little bit deeper, which is tough to find for an asim solid. There aren't many of those. So this Ion Max is a great option if you want that biggest hooking ball from Storm. And the second ball in this category is going to be the RST Hyperdrive. The RST Hyperdrive is just a slightly higher RG version of the Ion Max, so it's going to get a little further down lane, be a little bit quicker down lane, because it has that RST core. If you guys like the RST X1, X2, or X3, this has a very similar vibe to it, just a strong, solid cover stock on it, which makes it want to hook that little bit earlier. So this is another great option for probably slightly more rev dominant guys who don't think they need something as strong as that Ion Max. The RST Hyperdrive also looks really good when polished. I have seen a lot of people polish it, and they adore this thing. Quick reminder that the further left a bowling ball is on the scale, that means the earlier it's going to hook. So in the past instance, the Ion Max hooks earlier than the RST Hyperdrive. We're going to continue that trend for the other 5 categories, but let's get into the strong and sharp category next. This category mainly consists of asymmetrical hybrids and asymmetrical pearls. This is going to be a lot of bowling balls that you go to after your Ion Max or your RST Hyperdrive are just hooking too early or too much or burning up too quickly. Number 1 ball on this list is going to be that Physics Blackout. Physics Blackout has the AI version of the Physics Core, which means it wants to flare more than almost any Storm ball in production right now. This thing flares so much. I have a 5-inch pin on mine, and it still flares around the ball. It's crazy. But then it has that NEX Pearl cover stock, so it wants to get a little further down lane with that. This ball does come dull, so that's why it's number 1 on this list, because it isn't that quick when it comes out of box. If you polish it, it's a little bit quicker, but overall, it is right on that edge of strong smooth and strong sharp. Next up is the Origin. The Origin is an asymmetrical hybrid ball. It still wants to hook early, but not as early as a Physics Blackout, but it's a little quick down lane. This is a really good long oil pattern bowling ball for you. If you're speed dominant or you're balanced, this is going to be your biggest hooking bowling ball in terms of a pearl ball. It does numbers for people who do not have many revs, or their speed outmatches their revs, whatever it may be. This ball hooks miles for you compared to any other. Next up is going to be the Attention Star S2. This ball is still in the lineup. I assume it's going to get discontinued soon, but it has that E-Trax Plus hybrid cover on it, so it does want to hook a little earlier. Now, the core is massive. That Attention core is massive, so it does fall right below that Origin. Radically different shape down lane, though. The shape is going to be way different, way smoother, a little more different, a little more benchmarky than a lot of the other bowling balls on this list, but this seems like the best spot for that S2. Coming up next is the house shot ball, the Equinox. The Equinox has a really weak cover, really strong core, so it fits really well in this spot. This is pretty much in the middle of the lineup for the strong and sharp category in terms of where it hooks. Compared to the other companies, this would be similar to like where that Black Widow Mania is or where that Evoke Hysteria is in the line. It's just a middle of the road strong and sharp ball. Coming up next is the limited edition ball, which is actually available at every single pro shop that you can imagine. This ball did not sell out. It is the Identity, whichever one you want to go with. They're nearly the same thing. The Identity was that Belmo limited edition release that is still very much in the wild. While you can't find a Jackalije anymore, you can find Identities all over the place. My pro shop has like 8 of them yet. We just haven't been able to get rid of them. So this Identity is a really good ball, though. At the end of the day, it is a great ball. It does fit below that Equinox. It's the quickest ball in this strong and sharp category, which is good. Storm didn't really have that. This Identity really hits that well. So it's a good ball, and it's very easily accessible. So don't think this ball is completely gone just because it was labeled as limited edition like 6-ish months ago. Last on the list is the Attention Star. OG Attention Star is the very bottom of the strong and sharp category. This is always my bottom benchmark for this list because this ball is a little bit cleaner, a little bit quicker than most of the other things, way different than a lot of the other ones in the strong sharp, but it still kind of fits there because the core does want to flare a lot. Moving on to the medium and smooth category, these are mainly your benchmark bowling balls. These are going to be the first out of your bag in just any situation so you can figure out what the pattern is and what you need to go to after it. These are generally symmetrical solids, a little bit of a twist in here at the end. But starting us off is going to be the Sublime Focus. Sublime Focus is not discontinued yet. It's going to be very soon is my guess. It's been around for a while, didn't do that great. This thing hooks so early. If you want a super early hooking symmetrical ball, this is going to be the best you're going to find from any of the companies. It is so early, so smooth down lane. Coming up next is the Goat Ball, the Phase 2. It falls a little bit below that Sublime Focus. This is the true symmetrical solid benchmark for a lot of people. This is where you can categorize a lot of balls around because it has been around for 9 years now or so, and it's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So Phase 2, really good spot in that medium smooth list. One that is very close to the Phase 2, nearly identical in a lot of ways, is the Rockstar. The Roto Grip version of this ball is pretty much in the same spot. You don't really need both. I have both, and I see that they're nearly identical in a lot of ways. So I actually shined my Rockstar. It looks really good shiny. So if you want a Rockstar and a Phase 2, shine up your Rockstar. It looks pretty good because it is just a little bit later and a little bit quicker down lane. Next is another ball discontinuing soon, that is the Origin EX. The Origin EX was an interesting take on the Origin core, weak cover, strong core, wanted to be like the absolute power. I think it's still a great ball. It's just really ugly. And Storm recognized that and they actually use that in the advertising, kind of funny. But this ball is still really good for League. If you want a strong ASIM core, but still get down lane and be smooth for your League shot, great option. And the final ball near the bottom of the medium and smooth list is the Cove. The Cove is a hybrid symmetrical ball. It is super smooth, hooks a little bit earlier than a lot of the weak balls that we'll mention in a bit, but it is very close to riding that line between medium smooth and weak and smooth. Cove might get overlooked. Really good ball. I'm a big fan of mine right now. And now let's start off with a medium sharp list. These are going to be a lot of your symmetrical pearl balls that come below your benchmarks. Kicking it off in the number 1 spot, the strongest one on the list is the Zen 25. It is basically a remake of that OG Zen. Still a really good ball. It is definitely on the top of this list, though. Some people would put it in the strong category because of how big that core is. Coming up right below it is a new one in the RST Hyperdrive Pearl. This is that RST core, but a super weak cover, brand new cover, weak cover. So it falls below the Zen. We have done some testing for this, but it is still a strong core, so it's close to the top of this medium and sharp list. Some people might question why it's not in strong sharp. The cover is just so weak, it doesn't really fit there. Coming in right below that is the Gremlin. The Gremlin has a super high differential. Again, super low cover, weak cover, strong core. So kind of like the same idea as the Hyperdrive Pearl, just a little bit quicker, a little bit cleaner down lane. I do not personally recommend having both in the same bag. I'd recommend one or the other. Next up is the Phase AI. A new Pearl version of the Phase 2 is going to fit below the Gremlin symmetrical Pearl, right in the middle of that medium sharp category. This is a love-hate ball. Either this is your favorite ball of all time, or you cannot stand this ball. I was in the cannot stand this ball because it was just very quick when it wanted to hook, and then it kind of rolled out. It was a little bit weird, a little bit disappointed, but this ball fits right in the middle of medium sharp. And right below the Phase AI is the Ember. The Ember is a symmetrical pearl, just a pearl version of that Cove with a different cover stock to it. This one is quick. This one is super quick down lane. It's round. It has a round shape, but it is still very quick compared to other ones on the list. Like, it fits really well with a Zen. It fits really well with a Hyperdrive Pearl. It's just that good step down. If you like your shiny bowling balls, this one could be a better option for you. Coming up next is the Storm Road Warrior. This one used to be on the bottom edge of the medium sharp list, but then Storm peppered that area of their arsenals with a lot of bowling balls, so now it really doesn't. But the Road Warrior is basically their first attempt at a remake of the High Road Pearl. Slightly stronger because they have AI core technology in it, so it does want to hook a little bit sooner and be a little bit smoother than that original High Road Pearl. Still a really good ball. It is on sale right now, and I hope it doesn't go anywhere, but we'll see. And the final one in the medium sharp list is the IQ Tour AI. This is an IQ AI core hybrid cover stock to it. Falls right below the Road Warrior. I don't really recommend having both. I think one or the other is fine. This AI kind of fits between weak sharp and medium sharp as well, similar to the Road Warrior, but it is that IQ Tour core. So if you really like the IQ series, this can be a good option for you to try to mimic what the IQ Ruby used to be. It's not the same, but it's going to be the closest you can get right now. Moving on to the weak and smooth list. This is actually a ton of bowling balls in this category. Storm peppered their weaker side over the last 6 months or so, which is great because the other companies refuse to do it. So shout out Storm for putting out a lot of weak bowling balls that are usable. The first one on the list is going to be the Ion Pro. The original Ion Pro is an asymmetrical ball. Weird to put an asim in the weak category, but it is so mild and the core is so mild that it seems like it fits well here. It doesn't really fit above a cove or above a phase 2 or anything. This seems like the best spot. This is usually the top of the top for the weak smooth list. Really good tournament ball. Some people like it for house shots, but the next one I'm going to mention is way better for house shots. And the next one, weirdly enough, is a solid version of the Ion Pro that is later and quicker than the original Ion Pro. It's so weird. It's so backwards, but the Ion Pro Solid is just a solid cover stock of what's on the Ion Pro. However, it hooks later and it's sharper. They did polish it, but even if you take the polish off, it's still later than the original Ion Pro. That is a really, really good house shot ball. It might win ball of the year right now. Unfortunately, it's $200, which stinks, but overall, that ball is incredible. Next up is a weird one in the level. The Storm level is just, it's very niche. I didn't really know where else to put it. It hooks early, has a super tiny core. It's like it wants to act like urethane, but it doesn't. So it kind of fits somewhere in the middle of weak and smooth. This ball is really, really dependent on the layout you have on it and the surface you have on it. So it could kind of jump all over the weak and smooth list. Coming up next is one of the GOATs, the IQ Tour edition. The IQ Tour is a little later than what it used to be a couple of years ago, and it kind of fits in a weird, very bottom of the weak and smooth list. It's a little quicker and cleaner than you'd expect. This ball is still that weak and smooth. Unfortunately, it's still very pricey, but this ball is one of the greatest Storm bowling balls of all time, so this is a really good option, especially for lefties or guys who want to play a little bit straighter on a little bit of burn. And finally, to end the list, we have two hustles. We're going to put these together. It's the Hustle Earth into the Hustle X-Ray. Both of them are solid hustles. Very, very similar cover stocks. The Earth just hooks that little bit earlier compared to the X-Ray. You don't need both. They're really good bowling balls to play straighter if you have a lot of hand. So instead of going for something super strong if you're rev dominant, I'd recommend checking out like a Hustle Earth or a Hustle X-Ray. Both of them are really, really well liked right now. And we're on to the final category, the weak and sharp. These are the bottom of the bag bowling balls. They're going to hook the latest, be the cleanest. And we're kicking it off with the Rotogrip Ultimate Wrecker. The Ultimate Wrecker is a remake of the Wrecker from a while ago. However, it's not really liked right now. It's super cheap. It's on sale. Go pick one up if you want. If you need something for the weak and sharp list, no one really knows a bunch of what it does. It's clean, but it's a little smoother and slower down lane. Next up is one of the most longest produced bowling balls of all time. That's the original High Road. The hybrid High Road fits right below the Ultimate Wrecker in that weak and sharp list. A lot of people know and love the High Road, so I don't have to go into much detail of how good this ball can be. It's a little worse now than it was 5 or 10 years ago. Still a good ball, though. Now, the true winner of this weak and sharp category is the next one in the High Road 40. High Road 40 is probably the most used, weaker, shiny ball from a lot of the pros and high-up amateurs right now from the Storm lineup. This ball is just a High Road Pearl. If you like the High Road Pearl, ignore the High Road, ignore the Road Warrior, get the High Road 40. It is eons better. It is phenomenal, phenomenal ball, and it is literally the same ball as that Bill Chrisman ball that came out a couple of years ago in honor of him. They just kept the cover, kept the core, kept the color, everything, and just remade it in this, and it's amazing. And the final non-hustle ball on the list is the Typhoon. The Typhoon is that true, really, really weak bowling ball, getting right on that edge of being entry level, but it's not. And a lot of people really like this for their house shot when they're rev dominant. So if you're rev dominant, you need that bottom of the bag ball. This is probably the best one on the market for that bottom piece from any of the companies. The other companies don't make much in this spot, where the Typhoon is really like that step up from a Tropical Surge or like a step sideways from a Hustle. And the last two on the list are the Hustle Glow and the Hustle M&M. I don't know which one goes first, honestly. They're pretty much the same thing. I'm going to go M&M into the Glow because the Glow is a little newer, so it might hook a little later, but those are pretty much intertwined. They're Pearl Hustles. You know what you're going to get out of them. Very weak, not too angular, but angular enough. Good if you have just a ton of burn in front of you. All right, we went through 34 bowling balls in that time. So if you enjoyed this series, make sure to let me know. I want to run this once every 6 months because I know this is an important one for you guys so that you don't pick two bowling balls that are right next to each other. That's the really important thing when bowling because we can't test the equipment. We need to do some research to make sure we're not just buying the same ball twice. You don't want to buy an Ion Max and a Hyperdrive without having other spots in your bag filled. I'd recommend filling at least one ball in all of these categories. If you want to keep purchasing bowling balls, that seems to be the best way to be able to have the most well-rounded arsenal possible. Again, if you enjoy these, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe, let me know that you enjoyed this series, and I'll keep it going. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one.